Today's Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. It's time is 5:30 PM. Like to call the Public Works Committee to committee meeting to order. Let's stand and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda would be October 9th Public Works minutes.
Frank, I'll make a motion to receive the October 9th Public Works meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to receive the minutes as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public comment on agenda items, 2 minutes per person, 14 minutes per topic.
There's nobody in the hall, Donnie.
Anybody online?
No.
Okay, next item is project updates then.
I'll be filling in for Chuck. That's okay. I don't know if you reviewed all this. I can go through it bit by bit here. Village Park Trail improvements, we're going through a couple different renditions of that. That'll be concurrent with the TAP grant trail project construction. TID 5 subdivision plat, it's submitted to the DOA. We had a meeting on Tuesday with the DOT to discuss some intersection alignments and stormwater concerns they had about going into their right of way alongside the 4-lane Highway 64. They were fairly satisfied with everything. We just need to send them the final draft of the stormwater management plan, and we should get that back potentially by the end of the week. St. Croix County has, as part of their extraterritorial zoning, replied back that they have no objections to it. And the regional TID 5 regional stormwater ponds, that's been submitted to the DNR for their review and their comments. That'll feature like a 2-cell infiltration and kind of a holding pond in that location. There is some rework done on that, but those revisions will be sent to the DNR ahead of their comments, because I'm sure they're going to comment on them. TID 5 lift station utility extensions, that's later on in our packet. Haas Sons was a little bitter on that project. Pineville First Edition, the binder asphalt was installed on Monday. We have a few areas where there's some stabilization issues. But we'll wait for that freeze thaw cycle to see if those things heal up. Some of them do, some of them don't. If they don't, we ask the contractor to redig those, stabilize the sub base, and allow them to put that binder back. And then again, we warranty that road for a year, so we should find any unsatisfactory spots well ahead of warranty period. The Main Street utility and expansion joint replacement. I believe that work has been done. I just need to go back and check with our on-site inspector.
That has been on here for like 2 years.
Right.
That's
So
impressive.
I need to verify if that's gonna be done, but they did get a bracing in and the brace did not fit. So it had to go back to fabrication. So they are hoping that is going to be a quicker process.
Measure 10 times, place twice.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
White Sap Prairie subdivision and First Edition. First, that punch list is substantially completed. There's some grading and seeding work that needs to be completed, and then that will be the completion of their punch list items.
I have a general question on White Sap.
Yes.
So now that Capstone has got their own addition, they're gonna be building mostly in Pinevale. Who is gonna be building the houses in Bruce Larson Way?
Capstone has the right of first refusal on any proposal other than them from Citywide. So right now it is Capstone,
Okay,
but there's a lot of review that we have to do since they want to revise the stormwater management plan.
okay,
So, and what is gonna be proposed is gonna be temporary. And when they move on to that second edition, they will have to come with a different plan. So.
Does that all have to go back to, planning commission then?
Correct, and we're not recommending that they do that. We are recommending that negotiation is ongoing with the school to get that emergency overflow pipe. It's been an item of contention between the school and the developer.
yeah, that could really end up being a mess.
Well, it's gonna hold them up.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Alright, just, not really related to what the agenda item was, but. general
that's fine,
question.
good question. Any questions on that, or do you want me to go in deeper on any of these items?
Mhm.
River Hills North, said the contractor is scheduling the drainage work that we've been talking about. Is that,
It's postponed until spring.
Yeah, that was part of our updates, I think, and the updates you sent out today.
Correct.
Yep. They said about the yard, they were worried with going in this late, that the yard wouldn't take.
So we did meet, the contractor and I did meet with, we went and walked the site, and the one homeowner who has the substantial disturbance in their yard was very uncomfortable of us starting. And, we did reassure that sod can be laid, the work can be done, just as long as the ground's not frozen. They weren't satisfied with that, and they asked that that be postponed.
The capstone still ain't stud on those.
I know.
ones on Pine
So that's why
Mountain.
we tried to reassure them, and they have dogs, pets, and an unfenced yard, and they were very concerned that they would have a disaster in the springtime. And I said, I can't guarantee you that.
Yep, that's their prerogative.
That's at the top of the contractor's list for construction next
So,
year.
but we're not gonna be able to get into there until sod can cut in mid-June.
That's right.
So they're aware of that, that's how much,
They're aware.
okay, alright. Well, as long as that has been communicated clearly, that's all we can do. So it sounds like that's gonna be moved out to June, mid-June.
okay? Any other questions on general update? Unfinished business. Discussion possible recommendation, outdated ordinance, Title 6, Chapter 4, trees and shrubs, which was tabled. I've had a chance to take a look at this. Did read the email from the attorney. There's a couple of things that I had some concerns about. And
Okay, Donnie, before we get into this too much, I did meet with, the DNR. Is it on here? Is it on here?
yeah, it's down there a ways.
Yeah, so they gave me some better guidance on how to write this, so I would like to have another chance, another crack at this. Based
Okay.
on that meeting with the DNR, so I would like to,
I'm just gonna suggest, if you do, to please try to keep in section 647, which has to do with the prohibition of planting trees on village property unless it is, allowed by the forester. Right now, it was removed. And, I think we need to have at least that prohibition kept in there. That's just one thing. I'd like to, make sure you note on it. That was one of many, but I'll let you take a crack at it.
yeah, she kind of said there's a lot of work, so I'm gonna try again.
Joe, okay, sounds good. So that's tabled.
Move the table till next month, till Brandon gets his second whack done.
I second that.
Motion made, seconded to table. Title 6, Chapter 4, till December. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Title 6, Chapter 2, Streets and Sidewalks. 6.2B2 was, in part of, as part of your packet. I'm sorry it got to you so late. I've been kind of dogged out with some stuff that I've had going on. But I managed to get it, retyped and sent off to you. I hope that that might have addressed, the, concerns that Bob was looking at there, but, I'm open for any discussion on it.
In green is what he added, and then where it's as required by the village board is what he took out. And then he wanted shall instead of may.
Looks great to me.
Is that a motion?
Yeah. Move to, adopt as written.
Is there a second?
Brandon Crown second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt, the language as written. Discussion? Bob, did you have a chance to look at that? Does that kind of address the concern?
The only concern I have is with, section B1. And are we going to be now imposing assessments for sidewalks?
Only if it's established by the village board. That's the way that language has been written.
Only if the board chooses.
That's correct. Which is kind of why there's been no, assessments in the past. Because the board hasn't taken action to impose any assessments.
All right, I think we have a second.
Yep, any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay? Motion carried. Title 12, Chapter 2, Parks and Recreations. Section 12.1.5, Reservation Policy. Believe that's included in the packet. And Bob,
Yeah.
that was what you had rewritten, correct?
Yep.
Well, I just had one question. Under C for the application, you had a 14-day and then you had, a 3 days prior to the date. Is that just for the park shelter? Or is it two separate dates? And do they
14
need,
days prior to the exclusive use, which would be the entire park and buildings. 3 days if it's just a pavilion.
okay. Any other questions or concerns?
None.
Make a motion to adopt the, language as presented.
Second.
For section 12.1.5 reservation policy. Made and seconded to adopt the language as presented. Any discussion? Now, this would replace 12.1.5 in its entirety, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. We're going to remove tournaments, and the charge for tournament fees.
Yes,
Staying in there.
there was a tournament fee in the old one. So we never charged it anyway, so, yeah. And park should be free, that's our. We're here for
Yeah,
parks.
there's deposits and those sorts of things that are addressed.
Is that something we wanted to keep in?
No, I don't wanna charge people. Use the park. The reserve part of it.
We do ask for deposits and deposits are released when buildings are, it's cleaned and
Sure, that makes sense.
no damage.
In any of the previous meetings where they've made changes, those stay. I mean, this is just a reservation.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want,
That's what I was just double checking because 12.1.5 covers that, but it all the way down to M is also, that's not part of the reservation. So are we leaving in like the M is about the only thing, use of a concession stand's already covered in your policy.
whatever that tournament is, I would like that, whatever that tournament fee is, I'd like that straight. As well. What is that, M?
That was M in the current language. And I say, because there's a season fee of $10 per participant. There's league scheduling. And that's all covered in where it says provisions of this paragraph shall apply to use of park space by sports leagues in lieu of application procedure outlined in subparagraphs B and C.
That would stay.
That's
That's for
staying.
field dragging. That's to offset public benefit versus a select group of people.
That's for field dragging specifically, so it won't apply to like, say, a disc golf.
No.
Group
No.
or like a pickle club.
No. No, we need to distinguish between public benefit and select benefit. So if we put a playground in, we can put a playground in. When it comes to a request to put enhanced dugouts because the baseball team is requesting that, we can contribute to it, but it's not a public benefit because the general public doesn't benefit from it.
Yeah, got it. I thought it was like, so I was looking at it like, it's some charging people.
If someone wants to play kickball and we don't have to drag the field, we don't charge it.
Okay.
Or have a pickup game of baseball or basketball, anything that doesn't require specialized needs, effort or costs.
So I think use of the concession stand also has a $100 deposit.
Yep,
That's not, I didn't see that in here. I thought it was.
that would stay, that language would stay.
Okay, so we'll keep I and M? Why did it go from I to M? In the old language?
I believe that's L.
Oh, that's L, okay. That's just it, okay, so we're keeping L and M then.
Yep.
Anybody wish to amend, well, I'll amend my motion then to adopt this with the addition of L and M from the previous ordinance.
Frank Road second.
Motion made, seconded to adopt the language. I think Caleb seconded that first one though, didn't he?
I'll second again.
Okay, just want to make sure you're okay with that. Brandon, I'm not trying to take a second away from you. I'm just.
No, Robert's rules, man. This gotta have law and order, brother.
Okay, so, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I,
All opposed, nay? Okay, that's carried. We are tabling a ball field use. We're just keeping it on. Nobody's reached out to anybody of the committee, have they?
Not to me.
Okay. It was a action taken at the last meeting that, we would continue to keep that on there in case they were to reach out to somebody, but otherwise we just continue to table it until at a time frame that somebody wishes to remove it. I think that's a good thing that we need to kind of look at though, for if we're keeping in, like I said, that ball field language in, under M of 12.5. Same thing with timelines on, meetings with the public on village park improvements.
I think we should establish a meeting date for the first one.
Okay,
I'll propose the end of February, beginning of March as the initial. And then the subsequent meeting be in the park with the public.
Will it be-
Probably in
Will it be in conjunction with the, will it be in conjunction with the, Public Works meeting or will it be a special called meeting?
special meeting.
Okay? What's your pleasure on, you want to put a date or you want to just, give a, end of February, basis on it?
It's gonna be cold.
End of February, beginning of March, we'll just put it TBD. We can decide on a date at a future meeting.
Keep
Okay.
around. Yeah.
Early February. I think that was covered in our minutes from last month too.
Late
so-
February, early March.
Late February, early March, okay? And, we'll talk about it after the first of the year?
Yep,
Okay. Are we gonna be doing any, limbing or anything like that with the leaves off in the parks at all?
So I don't know if you've been down into the parks lately, but they have been busy down there. I went down there Friday, with the DNR gal. I cannot believe how busy they've been down there clearing. That beach is completely cleared. You can get to all of it now. Everything's been beaten back a certain degree. Guys are making really good headway down there. So I would take a walk down there, Donnie, cause they're kicking butt down there.
Well, just driving by on top and I didn't notice, that's why I was asking the question. I know we had talked about on both sides of the bridge at that special meeting that we were going to, get somebody in there, get some clearing of that up to, I think it was like 8 inches or something like that. Anything 8 inches or less was gonna get scrubbed out of there.
Are we just doing what the guys are going down there and doing it themselves right now?
Primarily Mark, our new hire. Yeah, they're convinced he's half goat,
Yeah, I think he just loves it. Yeah, it seems like he's down there all the time.
so.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
So this is kind of a time where we were able to get to a lot of things, absence with mowing.
Oh yeah, no snow.
So there's an opportunity for that work to get done.
Need a new chainsaw or anything? Chainsaws
It's
or,
been tuned up.
yeah, ready to go.
Okay, all right, well, new
Good work.
business.
Saving
Bid
us money.
5, lift station, utility extension bid, in your packet. Proposal put forward. What's the pleasure of this committee?
Randy Crowe make a motion to approve the bid. The lowest bid from Haas and Sons for the installation of the TID 5 lift station and the utility extension.
second,
Motion made and seconded to approve Haas for, do we need to put a dollar amount on that, motion?
Yeah, bid amount is $869,605.50. Just wanna note that that is, it's like roughly $100,000 less than the closest bid.
And just for reference, our original estimate on all this work was $1,025,000.
Really? Wow. Well, that's my
So
motion.
way under our proposed estimates then.
Yeah.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the TID station lift extension with Haas at 869,605.50. Further discussion. Is there a timeline on this? Is it gonna start yet this year or next spring?
Correct.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Self-watering hanging basket proposal. I would like to go with the one that was sent to us today. We had found, hanging baskets for considerably less. I apologize, I'm trying to pull it up on my phone here. Do you have that in the packet by any chance, Amy?
It's like when you're holding it.
Yep, it's in there.
Okay. I think it was like $39 for one instead of 200.
29.85. It's a tad smaller. But it's gonna get us the same result. For substantially less.
Do you need a quantity amount on that, Bob, or, I know that it's definitely gonna pay for itself with the savings that we won't have on overtime per your, recommendations. So, I know the original one was for 10, but with the cost savings that we have here, are we just kind of trying to keep within a budget, or are we able to?
I think we're on 10. Was,
Or can we just make the motion to approve, up to 20, and if you guys wanna put more out, you can?
sure,
And we get 100.
Yeah,
Gilgar make a motion to buy 20 self-watering baskets.
Brandon Crone, second.
is that up to 20, Caleb?
Yep,
Motion made and seconded to approve up to 20 of the baskets, and I think they were like $30.
29.85.
$29.85 plus tax or whatever, so any
Okay.
further discussion? I wanna thank the one of the Public Works guys for bringing that to our attention and finding that for us, and saving the taxpayers and the village some money.
Yep, that's Mike Bubble,
Yeah,
Well, let's get my.
all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. That motion is carried. Discussion possible recommendation, lot use Somerset Champions for Light the Night.
All right, Caleb.
I'm here
What's
here
the
to
deal
answer any
here?
questions.
What's the deal here?
I will be
mister?
abstaining from the vote.
Is the tree gonna be down before June?
That is my intention.
Caleb, it's the same thing as we had last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve the lot use permit for Caleb Guard and the Somerset Champions for Light the Night. As
Brandon Crone,
presented.
second.
Motion made and seconded to approve it as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
One
opposed, nay.
abstention.
One abstention, noted. That motion is carried. Discussion possible recommendation, participation in Wisconsin School Forest Program. Brandon?
Yeah, so, I met with, Abigail Kraus from the, Urban Forestry Program last Friday. She came out and she took a look at both, LaGranger and Village Park. She thought that, both forests looked in pretty good health. She said that we should definitely keep up with what we're doing, with the goats, to help beat that buckthorn back. She also mentioned that there's other groups that we can work with outside of the urban forestry group. There's also, the school, Wisconsin School Forest Program, and she gave me the contact for Andy Kiro, I don't know how to say it, some other guy. So basically, all we need to do is give me the ability to contact this Andy, and then we can get enrolled in this program, and what that will entail is they will give us free saplings and trees from their Wisconsin school, forestry school. But yeah, and the other thing that we talked about was just, she gave me some examples of some grants that were passed, and the fact that we have the disc golf course and the LaGranger together opens us up to some additional grants, because we can qualify for safety grants, so they'll come and trim some of those trees. A lot of the grants are in-kind donation, 50-50 grants or 80-20 grants, so it doesn't have to be money, it can be man hours, it can be equipment, burden, rate, and things of that nature. So this is just basically gonna give me permission to reach out to Andy and get us enrolled into this this program for the free saplings.
So
Yeah,
enrolling
Gary,
in
make-
enrolling in the program, is that something that we just we just need to approve, that, the Village of Somerset enroll in a program to, encourage and promote, you know, this village, private forestry, or what exactly are we putting forward here?
Basically, we'll have to, we reach out to them and we get into this program that would get us, for some free trees, basically more or less all it is right now. And then down the road, they could look at, we could look at getting some grants and stuff like that, but this agenda item is solely to pursue getting us some of those free saplings.
So it's entering into the school forest program.
Yep.
Okay, do we have to have any kind of agreement from our schools into wanting to adopt such a program? Are they going to be, because I know the school forest that I've dealt with in the past they've actually kind of went in and took over some of those areas.
Yeah, I need to get more information on exactly what everything would entail, but the forest does need some work, so if they were to come in there and clear some of that out and cut out some of the dead wood, I believe we get that money if there is any stuff that they have to cut out. But there's really not a whole lot of, I don't know how much trees we really get out of there.
Well,
But it would basically, we would sign up for them to, manage our forests and get the sapling and get the free trees.
I think it's a great idea. I just want to make sure that we know what we're getting into here, and if we have to have buy-in from our school in order to do that. I read through a little bit of, just kind of breezed over this City of Fenmore community park, and it's kind of, we got some good, we need some clearing in LaGranger for sure. That might help. So
And that was actually a grant that was accepted. So Abigail gave me that grant as kind of a cheat sheet to say, hey, here's one that was accepted for some grant monies.
So are we looking to write some kind of a grant request?
Yeah, I suppose I probably will write one day, I suppose.
Okay.
Or Bob and I can work on it together. Bob's got a lot to do, I suppose I'll probably take the first whack at it, maybe.
Caleb, did you have a motion you want to bring forward?
Just to allow Brandon to pursue this.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna bring in the bulldozers or anything like that. Basically, I wanna get in touch with the Andy guy and let him know that our intentions are to look into this program and potentially get signed up. We probably will need a motion once things get rolling and everything, we'll most likely need a motion from the full board to commence any type of actual work, would be my assumption.
Maybe we get more.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make contact with Andy yet, but
I'm perfectly fine with you going forward, and if you wanna, get more information on this, Brandon, and bring it forward, because I think, it's good that you're looking into this, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. I think there's more to be brought forward, and I agree, it's gotta be to the full board on this. I think if you want to pursue, reaching out to an individual from Wisconsin to what's the gentleman's name?
Andy
Curl from the Service Forester of St. Croix. Maybe he could bring forward, some more stuff, but before we can, actually put forth a motion to the full board for participation in something.
Yeah, I think I'd like to have him come in, we'll have him come down and maybe give a presentation or let us know what we would qualify for and what plan he'd have. So they also come up with a plan for the forest too, all that good stuff, so.
That's
just want to make sure that everyone was at least agreeable to it.
I have no qualms with that at all.
I shall continue.
So is that a second?
Well, I was gonna say there's nothing really to second at this point in time. Bring forward, the guy and we can talk about it and see if there's something that we can, put forward to the full board.
So your recommendation is for me to keep going?
Go
That's,
with Scott.
yes.
Okay, it's my plan then.
Discussion, possible recommendation banners for downtown light poles.
The champions look
You got
over this?
In the,
Mike Cappers asked this to go to the committee for them to decide.
The champions committee or the public works committee?
Mike Cappers requested this to go to Public Works Committee
Us, okay.
to.
Aren't were the champions working on this though?
Yes.
Is
the
this a-
champions are looking to brand something. I think they brought forward, correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb, next month, we're hoping to have something for, rebranding for all, for.
Yeah, full branding package,
And the
Right.
veterans?
what they'll be presenting.
Are we
Is-
doing some veterans ones too? of these?
The Heroes Flags program is in the works with Joanna.
Is that
Right.
different? Is that separate from that?
Yes.
Okay,
This wouldn't be taking into, any of that. If there's, the heroes, that's gonna be up from, I believe it's from Memorial Day to, the 11th of,
Memorial to
Veterans,
Veterans.
right?
Yeah,
The
Correct.
question is this something that is this gonna be part of the branding package from the champions with these banners on the poles, or is that something different?
I believe they will be including that as well as a recommendation for the water tower.
So then maybe we should table this until we get our full branding package to look at that and at that point in time?
Yep.
Brandon Crone, second.
So we'll move to, motion made and seconded to table this until, the branding package comes forward. I think having this out here, I don't know if that's gonna affect them or anything. Quite frankly, it's some good designs, but, I'd like to know what the champions are bringing forward before I move on it, so. All in favor of tabling this, until, next month, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I should say if there's any further discussion, but hearing none. All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public Works Department report. I think we pretty much covered it all under MSA's report, didn't you? Other than we had a little failure and additional overtime?
Yeah,
You have a timeline on what we're gonna get that part, slow boat to China? Slow boat from China,
we're open any day.
oh, any day?
It's,
Is that something that we need to have spares of?
we
on
are,
hand?
that is, we will have a spare on hand, so this doesn't handcuff us.
Okay,
This is a very strange occurrence.
how much is this unit to have a spare on hand?
Like $3,600. I think I'd have to go back and look at the price. It wasn't alarming to me.
But that would pay for itself in overtime pretty dang quickly,
Yes, right now,
cause what is it, we pay the guys 2 hours
they're in from 11 to 1 o'clock.
in
At night.
overtime? Night?
Night.
11 to 1 at
Not
night.
the most desirable thing for them.
Yeah, let's get a spare, please.
Yes. So that
One
is-
question was brought up too about, I know, main, streets and the leaves have been dropping in kind of sporadic times, but, there was some people that were mentioning, that the leaves, will that plug up the drains if they don't get swept off in certain areas, or is that something that we don't have to worry about? I've never seen any issue on it, but I guess they were asking the question. If leaves would need to be swept off, or if we can just plow them off when the snow comes.
Well, Mike's been actively sweeping, I can tell you that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely will plug things up.
So
Okay.
I've seen in other towns, you know, we've got the,
A vac.
we've got the sweeping, we've got this great program of adopt a fire hydrant, right? That's caught on. They have it in other municipalities where you adopt a drain. And you adopt it and you clean it out. So maybe we gotta put the drains on the JIS map. And we gotta, maybe we adopt a drain. I'd adopt mine. I don't know, they go in, they clean them out, like for real.
Some of those drains are 12 feet deep.
Well, the tall people have to get in there. We'll have to put Lane Belter in that one.
Um,
But I'm saying I've seen it in other municipalities,
I'll
so,
take it under advisement.
okay. I came up with that, no, adopt a drain.
Budget reports, everybody had a chance to take a look at the budget reports? I know we're going a little over in a couple of areas. Parks is one of them.
Nothing, I don't see really anything on here that we didn't know was gonna go over, so.
Yep.
Like to approve the bills as presented.
Second,
Motion made and seconded to approve the bills as presented. All in favor, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Future agenda items. I think rebranding proposal for the champions should be on next month's meeting.
yes, sir.
Will you do it when you guys are ready?
Yeah.
Anything else? Will we be discussing this tree ordinance next month? I think we pretty much got everything else taken care of as far as these ordinances, with the exception of that tree shrub ordinance. Is that something that we're gonna be able to bring to the full board? And do we do that next month?
Give me a month, I'm not gonna have it done by next week.
No, I'm not saying next week. I'm saying, were we gonna bring all of these to the village board next month for approval in December? So that they can get all approved? Yeah,
All of them, including the tree ordinance?
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, so yeah, and I'm asking, do you want the tree ordinance to be done by, I can have it done by December's board meeting, I don't think I can have it done by the next one, November's.
No, so, okay. That's fine. We'll leave it on for this, but then all the rest of them will go in December to the full board for ratification, correct?
I think we could send the rest of them to the full board.
All at once.
Oh, you want them all at once? Okay, yeah, let's shoot for December
Well,
then.
Here's the thing. How many of them do we have to forward to the full board? Cause I don't want it, to be a ton of time on one, maybe do we gotta split them up or?
Well, it'll be on a
That's right.
consent, it'll be on a consent agenda. I'm sure they'll trust our recommendations.
And after all the revisions are made, I will send it to the committee before, so that way you guys everybody can look at it to make sure everything is up to par.
Okay, well then let's put that on to review for next month and get that ready to send to the full board, and hopefully by then we'll have the tree ordinance in our hands and we can get that ironed out too.
I wanna do a first reading, if you're gonna put it on the consent, a first reading of those ordinances. And then a subsequent month, put a second reading, and that would be the final ordinance change. Because if it goes on the consent agenda, you have to pull it out, and if they all start getting pulled out because people are reviewing them, they can simply say, will go ahead with the first, but I'm gonna submit some comments. At that time, it's a good policy.
What's that called?
To do
Not
that.
on your consent agenda, you do first what?
It's just called a first reading, and it's not a final reading, but if there's something that sticks out to somebody that says, well, I don't like how this is read, we have another opportunity to make that change have a second reading.
So Tasia would put that in on the consent agenda.
And it would be just the first reading. And
Which, that
potentially
should
there's-
train, so we should forward that first reading to the board this month? I
No,
mean,
just, you can make that in December, you can make that part of the packet, you can keep it in the consent agenda. But you do hold the risk that you can make an awfully long meeting if everything starts getting pulled out of that consent agenda versus just saying, well, this is a first reading. Because, there's a chance that some board members may not have an opportunity to review them, and then it's brought to their attention and they're reviewing it at that time. And they may say, well, I don't like this, and then it has another opportunity to go back to the Public Works Committee to make any final changes or,
Well, I mean, most of these, as long as we have them in by.
Yep.
January, or I mean.
and
by
it'll make the
summer,
process a lot cleaner versus starting to have a dialogue or a disagreement at the board table. It just would pull it.
So we'll get them on in December then. and get 'em on the-
what's our time frame? Our deadline on this? Was it, I thought it was wasn't it first part of January?
We gotta go to Municode.
Yeah,
What's the upload date on?
I don't know, Tasia would know, I don't know.
I thought that's why we were doing this, is we wanted to make sure that everything got in so it would get uploaded to Municode, and it'd be not as expensive because we were doing it all at one time.
Yep.
So if that's, I just don't want to put any of the board members or anybody in a pinch to have to, get something done. That's why maybe a first reading might not hurt to at least be there in November, get a chance to review it and come back in December. And if they got further discussions, then we can iron them out there.
Yeah, the only problem is Brandon might not have something done by November.
By next Wednesday.
Next week. Next
Right.
week.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm not gonna have it done.
Well, you don't need to have that one done, but at least they get a chance for all the rest of them to be reviewed.
You can do it that way, sure.
Okay,
Do we
I
need a
think,
motion for that?
no, I don't, there's nothing on the agenda for that, but I think we can get them over. We'll talk to Mike and just have them review them. Amy, are you able to put them together at least with the exception of the one that's been tabled for tonight to have a first reading under consent agenda?
Yep, I've been doing them as you guys have been approving.
Okay. Okay, Well-
I had one last comment, just, I don't know, it's on a future agenda, but there are still disc golf sponsorships, disc golf hole sponsorships available, so if you guys know anyone who wants any, ask, I think I've got like 5 sold right now, but,
You want me by 2? Is that what you're saying?
well, you've got 2 businesses, so you should have 2 signs.
All right, sidebars.
Yeah, okay, anyways,
any final business that needs to come before this committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Motion
Franco,
made to
second.
adjourn. Is there a second?
Franco, second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. This meeting is adjourned. Gentlemen, have a good night. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, Donnie.
You too.
Good time.